but generally speaking, dolphins and porpoise are recognized as two different types of animals. But what is the difference? Dolphins are larger than porpoise. They're generally about 2 to 15 meters in length. The largest dolphin on the planet does live in BC waters, and it is in fact the killer whale. Called the killer whale, a name that dates back to about 17th century Spanish that was originally killers of the whale, but it has been shortened down over time. The killer whale is in fact a dolphin. All of these animals have got what's called a fulcate dorsal fin, or a hooked or curved fin. If you've seen a female killer whale, you'll have a very good idea in your mind of what that beautiful curved fin looks like. They all have got cone-shaped teeth, kind of like upside-down ice cream cones. Very pointy, very conical, and interlocking. And dolphins produce sonic sounds. And what is sonic? That's basically within the human hearing range. We can hear a dolphin can hear us. There are some dolphins that also move up into the ultrasonic range a little bit outside the human hearing range, and they're very surface active. Dolphins are known for their fantastic aerial displays, leaping out of the water, smacking their tails on the water, generally creating a bit of a disturbance at the surface that we can see as a splash. And what about the porpoise? Porpoises are much smaller than dolphins. In fact, if you're a porpoise, you would be very large at 2 meters in length. Generally, they are smaller than that. They do not have that curved or hooked fulcate dorsal fin. Porpoises have a triangular-shaped dorsal fin. The exception, of course, is the finless porpoise, who has no fin at all. They do not have the cone-shaped teeth. They've got little flattened, very small teeth, and in fact, they look like a little spade. Dolphins will bite their prey into pieces. Porpoises are far too refined for that. They will simply just hold their prey ever so gently with their teeth and then manipulate it with their tongue, and then using a negative pressure, a suction in their mouth created by their tongue, they will move their tongue very quickly, and it sucks that prey all the way down into their stomach. Porpoises also use sonic sounds, but they echolocate in the ultrasonic range. So we can hear, as humans, to about 20 kilohertz. Children in particular can. Grandpa probably can't hear the birds chirping outside anymore because his hearing range has come down a little bit. That would be about 20 kilohertz. Porpoises operate at around 130 kilohertz, well above our hearing range. And they are generally, non-surface active animals, except for the Dall's porpoise, and occasionally the other species. And we are fortunate enough to have captured that on video, which I'm going to have the pleasure of sharing with you today. But let's move on first. So I hope it's very clear. Porpoises are very distinct, very different from dolphins. And as I mentioned at the beginning, there are only 7 species on the planet. Here is a picture. These are Pacific white-sided dolphins that we were observing in Georgia Strait. And I want you to look at 2 things besides my dog, who is a terrific research assistant. Look at those lovely fins. They're very large compared to the sea surface. They're hooked. And also look at the water in amongst the dolphins. You can tell they're being very active. They're disturbing the sea surface. Now let's compare. So occasionally, and when I was a graduate student at UBC, I did sometimes hear, ooh, porpoises, they're a little bit dull and uninteresting, aren't they? Wrong. But I can see how they might give that impression. There's no disruption at the surface. Look at those teeny tiny, those are harbor porpoise. This picture was taken southeast of Victoria at the junction of Juan de Fuca and Haro Straits. These are actively feeding porpoise, active. Yeah, at the surface, it doesn't look terribly exciting. Those dorsal fins are only about 6 inches in height. They're very, very small. So look at the sea surface. We can only observe porpoise in the absolute best conditions. This would be about a Beaufort 1 on the sea state scale. This is what we generally refer to on the boat as sort of Beaufort awesome, because it means we get to watch the porpoise if, in fact, they're there. Here's a close-up, a beautiful photograph showing you that characteristic triangular shape of the porpoise. One of the characteristics that when you're in the field will tell you immediately that you are, in fact, looking at a porpoise, small size, generally no splash, triangular shaped fin, you're watching a porpoise.